Okay guys, so this is the beginning of our Stalingrad table. We're bringing it down for a show. So over here you see a lot of MDF buildings, is what you can get online, very standard stuff. And then over here is the brand new Battlefront sculpts. They'll come in plastic for you guys, but we're doing a review, so they managed to send us some of the early resin stuff. So we had to put them in hot water and stuff like that. So you can see that it's quite detailed stuff. You've got very nice floors with a little bit of the reinforcement showing, stuff like that. You've got interior and exterior, so you can't. It's not modular in the sense that you can't take the inside and throw it to the outside, because it does look very different. The outside has got a brickwork. Let me just focus that in for you. This is the outside, and then the inside will look very flat. So you can either do wallpaper, but you don't have that in Stalingrad. But you could use these buildings for Berlin and then do wallpaper, I guess. And then in the center here, you've got the new mechanic by which fighting will happen, where it is 4x4s. So it's a total 8x8 building. This is 4 inches, and each room is being fought over like a separate building when you fight urban warfare. But we'll do that when we get to it. So anyway, this whole half of the table will be probably Battlefront buildings, which will be these. We didn't get the chimneys and all the other stuff in, but these look pretty good. And they also have nice roofs to kind of complete the whole look. And you can have, we're kind of exploring different things on how to make this really pop. And I'll just go over here to some of the things that we are working on. We are thinking we can try and do, with the modularity, we can actually try and do a 16x8 building. Trying to see how it works. So this guy over here looks like a bomb with a 500 kg Stuka direct hit kind of thing. And then over there, you know, some ruins and whatnot. Looks pretty good. Anyway, we'll update you guys as we go on. Hi guys, so this is the BF buildings that we were going to do. We've kind of straightened it out. We've also done a little bit of putty and filed it down over here. You can see we've primed it black roughly to kind of catch the building. This is not what it's going to look like at the end. So we're going to start spraying it down. We've got 3 main colors that we're looking at. So if you look at the BF buildings, we're going to try and follow that slightly. So we're using MIG colors here. The first one we will get is, we will do the red first, which is red, brown, light for the brick color. And that should be over here. Then we'll mask it and we'll do the grays, which will be the stonework. And then we'll do the French blue, which is just the roofing. So anyway, we'll go through the process slightly. We'll do a little bit of videos, and then soon you're going to have a full piece. And then we're doing them on 10x10 basis with the in between there. To try to mark out the houses. But anyway, let's get to it. Okay guys, so I'm just kind of putting the red in. You can see the red in there with a little airbrush. And I'm going to start. There we go. Pressure's good. Okay, so we just start hitting the base. And you can see the colors start to come out nicely there. So we're just doing a very nice light coat. And then we go 1 coat over. You're going to be a little bit careful to make sure you don't hit too much. You don't want it to spray too far out, but you do get kind of an idea. You can use the airbrush if you control it well enough to hit and highlight the areas that you want. Maybe around the center portions. Oh shit, you see, so that's a bit too much. So we got to even it out there slightly. Make sure the gradient is good. Okay guys, so this is the first layer done. You can tell that I've kind of highlighted some of the other spots over here. Try and make a bit of a gradient depth. So that's what you can do with an airbrush. The next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask out the areas so that when you do an airbrush, it won't spray everywhere and hit all the areas you don't want hit. So for me, I'm just using normal masking tape. This is kind of medium tack. It's not low tack. If you get the Tamiya stuff, you can get some low tack. But what I'm doing is I'm rubbing it on my skin so it absorbs that oil there and it's not too sticky. Because if it's too sticky, it'll take off all the paint that I've put on the red area. So what I'll do first is I'll put one on this side, like so, because I'm going to do the gray next. So that area here needs to be red. So I'll put it in very carefully to make sure I mask out that. I'll take another one. And do the same thing. Rub it on the hand to make sure that it really kind of sticks on. And pull it off. Put it on again. You've got natural oil, so that ought to do the trick. And then it becomes a bit low tack. This is the cheap and easy way to do it. If you want to get the Tamiya low tack stuff, that works even better and it works like a dream. It's perfectly acceptable. So now that's done, I've cleaned out my airbrush already, so now I'm going for the grays. Let's see how this goes. Alright, turning on the air filter. Testing it first to make sure it's nice consistency, nice gray, none of the previous paint stuck inside. And then I begin. You can see the paint slowly grabbing. So some So now you can see that it's got a very nice color there. It's gray with red intones for the bricks. We can go over with highlights later on and detailing, but you get the general idea. These areas at the end of the day will be either gray or there'll be a nice white. Either way, I think it'll look pretty decent. And then at the very top, we're going to do French blue. I think it's a very nice contrast. On the inside, we're going to have the white wallpaper for the walls with maybe some burnt out lines on top, and then over here we're going to do probably just flat gray. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whack these and then later on I'll mask them. So when you know how to do masking, it does make it very easy. You can choose which layers to do first and then just mask it later to make sure it's good. So right now I still got gray in there, so I want to just make sure that I use up all the color. Just going to go ahead and whack that first. Turn that off. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. And take off the mask. You can see that with the depth, even on camera, you can see that some areas are more highlighted than the others. The areas over here I left dark for the color gradient and the color change. So it's fairly nice. And this only took me maybe 10 minutes, and I even managed to do the insides. I'm gonna mask this out next to do the whites, but I think I'm gonna do the facade first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask the bottom here, and I'm gonna do the French blue on the top, just to get the different tiles. It's good to keep extra pieces around, so that when you do have too much color, instead of wasting it, you just go and do the next one, which I think I did over here. So I got one more extra. Anyway, we've got a pretty good table coming up, so I hope you guys continue to follow. Anyway, let's do the blue, and then we'll see how that turns out after. Okay guys, so you see I've masked out this over here. Cleaned out the brush. And then I'm going to be using a little bit of old wood. Let me see if I can focus that in. There we are. Old wood. MIG color. That's going to be the cream base that you see on the wallpapers over there. And then that should be the finishing touch. We should be pretty good to go, unless we want to do some washes after that. So anyway,